Hi. We're here for human and socially biology. Allison, hello. Alonzo, good evening to you. We are here, human and social biology, HSB. Yeah, HSB. We have that exam coming up in a little bit. So we want to just practice tonight with one of the papers. This is for multiple choice, the paper one. The paper one. I think everyone is familiar with the paper one. It's 60 multiple choice questions. So yeah, join up. We going to get started in a little bit, just giving persons some time to join. A little bit of time to join up, and then we'll get started. Yes, thanks for coming out. Yes, everyone is looking forward to Monday, and it also has paper three. Yeah? We want to do a paper three tomorrow evening. We also have the crash course for the paper one. So do make sure you all are a part of that sign up. We want to take as much persons as we can for the crash course. Yeah, for the crash course. So do remember to sign up for that. Yeah. I will pin it in the chat so that persons can sign up for it. All right. So for today, this evening, we are using the 2023 May paper. This would have been a couple years back. So this was on the 29th of May, 2023. The paper one. So let's jump into it. You know that it is the best answer they are asking for. What time is paper three tomorrow? About the same time. Yeah, the 9 o'clock hour. Make sure you subscribe so that you will, and click that notification bell so you'll get the notification when we start for the paper three tomorrow evening at about the same time, because we have other subjects to do before, and then HSB is scheduled for about 9 p.m. EST. If you're in Jamaica, it's about 8 o'clock hour. So let's go with question one. And you all could keep track of your answers as we go along. Your favorite principal, will take you through this. My name is Travis Roach. So let's begin. The ability of a living organism to detect and respond to changes in its environment is referred to as what? And I hope persons are thinking irritability. C, straight off the bat. Yes. I am seeing some answers coming in. I'm seeing some answers coming in. Yes. So question two refers to the following diagram, which shows a red blood cell before and after being placed in a concentrated salt solution for 1 hour. We see the cells shrinking after 1 hour. The change in the red blood cells shown in two is because water has left it via osmosis. Yeah, so water leaves the cell by osmosis. We going with B for number two. Question three refers to the following freshwater food chain. Yes, this live is always posted. These lives are always posted. You could always find them on our channel. Just remember, subscribe to the channel, then just go through the videos. Yes, plus there are other lives for a whole host of other paper ones. Do remember to check them out. They're even collated in a playlist for you, so you have easy access to them. The organism labeled Roman numeral 1 is this fish here. And what is it? If you count the stages, producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, you have it right here. Number three is D. Item 4, which of the following factors is not necessary for photosynthesis to take place? Water, oxygen. Well, the mere fact we mentioned oxygen, that's not necessary. Sunlight and carbon dioxide. So B, oxygen. So far we start off wonderfully. Everyone should be getting these questions like that. These are very familiar, repeated questions. Yeah. So if you have watched our other videos, you will know that those have been repeat questions thus far. The structure labeled X in question 5 is involved in the what? We see it has ribosome. So this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we're going with protein. It has to do some with protein, production of proteins. Yes. And everyone in the chat said B. So wonderful, wonderful. Question 6. Which of the following statements is not true of anemia? Is not true of anemia. Mimi Squad, why are you saying wait? You find me going a little too fast? Keep up, keep up, keep up. We're looking for not true. It is caused by the presence of an extra chromosome. It is caused by a lack of iron compounds in the diet. That's actually true. It is treated by eating green vegetables, liver, and egg yolk. That's true. It is result from manufacture of an inadequate number of red blood cells. That's true as well. So the not is the operative word. So 6 is A. And everyone was already on to that in the chat. So let's go on to number 7. Which of the following are properties of enzymes? 1, they mostly work on only one substrate. I don't like the word mostly here, but okay, let's go on. They are not affected by temperature. Well, what? No. They work best at a particular pH. Yes, they do. So 1 and 3. 1 and 3. We're looking for 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Yes. B. B. Number 7 is B. What is number 8? A familiar question. The process by which undigested food is eliminated from the body is called egestion. Ingestion, excretion, deamination. Egestion is the answer. Keep track of how you are performing. You want to keep track. You want to see where you need to improve your mark a little bit. Yeah. So keep track of it. Item 9 refers to the following diagram, which shows the internal structure of a tooth. Yeah, we have 1, which is the enamel, 2, the dentine, 3, the pulp cavity, 4, this is cementum. Yeah, this black darkening thing, that's basically tooth cement. The layer of the tooth, which is harder than bone, is, well, the outer layer, the enamel. So 9 is A. Question 10, which of the following types of teeth is best adapted for tearing tough pieces of food? Yeah, we wanna tear some tough pieces of food. What are we saying for 9? Come on, come on, come on. What are we saying for 9? I want to see if everyone is thinking about, I hope no one should choose molar and premolar. The choice is really between incisor and canine. And well, ultimately everybody should be really choosing canine. Yeah, so 10, the answer is. See, someone here already gave us 11. Let's see if they are correct. Which of the following is not a function of calcium absorption, blood clotting, development of healthy teeth, development of healthy bones? Well, that person was very correct when they said 11 was A, absorption. 12, this is not the best version of this paper. If you have a better version of this paper, do feel free to send it to us. And we will all bounce up in the crash course. So do remember to sign up for it. The crash course is tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will spend some hours perfecting our skill for these multiple choice so that we get the one, because that's what we're aiming for. 12, indigestion. The role of teeth is to form a bolus, allow peristalsis to occur, break down starch in the mouth, grind food to increase its surface area. D. D is the answer. Item 13 refers to the following diagram. Of part of the human digestive system, we have 1, the liver, 2, the stomach, 3, the small intestines. Which sequence correctly matches each structure to its function? And once you automatically identify the thing, you know, 1 is bile, the liver produces bile, which kind of gives away the answer for 13 to be C. Yeah. 14, which of the following foods would best prevent constipation? You know, constipation, either you didn't drink enough water, you're not eating enough fiber. So chicken soup, vegetable rice and fish, fruit and vegetable salad, whole wheat bread and cheese. We have to go with the fruit and the vegetable salad. C. Number 14. Climbing up a mountain. In question 15, a group of hikers find that breathing becomes difficult. This is most likely because the air is colder. The air has less oxygen. Yeah. They become more tired from the long walk. They lose too much water by sweating. So 15, we are going with B. To sign up for the crash course, just click the link that is pinned on the chat. Yeah, or you could go to the description and click that link there. It's the same link, but it's pinned on the chat. Maybe I should write that. Yeah. So just click the link pinned on the chat and you'll be able to sign up. Let's see how we can work out question 16. It's not the best version of the paper. We already said that. Step 3 indicates the presence of the mere fact that they mentioned purple color observed. We know this is a burette test. You know this as a protein test. So just step 3 alone gives us the answer. Yeah. So this is sodium hydroxide and dilute copper sulfate. For step 2, that is also a protein burette test, right? So even though we can't really make out step 1, 2, and 3 kinds of gives us the answer. So we know you're looking for proteins. That purple lilac color gives us the answer. Which of the following structures is not part of the respiratory system? The esophagus, well, yeah, that is the digestive system. So 17, straight away, we go in with A. Yeah. Straight away, we go in with A. All right, let's continue. Where we reach 18? Is 18 we reach? Yes, should be an 18. Item refers to the following drawing of a model used to demonstrate breathing in humans. Which of the labeled parts represent the diaphragm? We know the diaphragm would be to the bottom here for 4, so the answer is D. Wonderful. And I see from what I'm seeing in the chat, most of you are getting it correct. Most of you are getting it correct. So this is wonderful. The equation for aerobic respiration is what? So just take your time, go through it. You know you want glucose and oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Yeah, so 19A looks to be the best. 19A looks to be the best. Question 20. Which of the following is the correct sequence of events in mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? You pinch the nostril, place your mouth over the other person and blow gently. Remove your mouth, tilt the head backwards. So you should be removing your mouth after you finish the event, yeah? You should be pinching their nostril to start, yeah? So 20, you should be tilting the person's head backwards to start, pinch the nostril. So yeah, we end up with 20 being C. Somebody is already telling us the answer for 22. All right. Somebody's telling us the answer for 21 already. So let's see. Coronary thrombosis occurs when they say C, a coronary artery becomes blocked with a blood clot. Yes, that is the answer. 20. That person, who is that? Who is that? Arjun, unknown Arjun. That is correct. Let's see. Someone told us the answer for 22 as well. Did they tell us the answer? But yes, Arjun already told us the answer for 20. Arjun ahead of us. The diagram represents, and we see this lobed nucleus. Once we see this lobed nucleus, we are thinking phagocyte. That should be automatic. We are thinking phagocyte. That should be automatic. So 22, we go in with B. 23. Which of the following is not, see that capitalized word, transported in plasma? Urea from the kidneys out of the body. Carbon dioxide from all cells to the lungs, digested food in the liver, and then to blood cells. Hormones from the endocrine glands to the target. Well, the only one that's not is urea from the kidneys out of the body. So 23, we're rocking with A. Yeah, we're rocking with A. 24, the double, let me read this thing. Mystery, is it that you want to send January 2025 paper one? If you want to send it, yeah. Send it along, nothing is wrong with that. If you all have papers that you all want to send along, feel free, yeah. The double pumping of the heart allows blood rich in oxygen to be taken to the lungs during the first pump, oxygen to be taken to the body during the second pump, carbon dioxide to be taken to the body during the first pump, carbon dioxide to be taken to the lungs during the second pump. So 24, which one of these is making sense? And it's oxygen to be taken to the body during the second pump. Oxygen does not need to be taken to the lungs during the first pump. Why are you taking oxygen to the lungs? We have no idea. Carbon dioxide taken to the body. Why does carbon dioxide need to be taken to the body? We have no idea. Carbon dioxide to be taken to the lungs during the second pump, right? So it's what you think the first and second pump is, and it means oxygen is taken to the body during the second pump. The longest continuous bone in the human skeleton is that bone in your thigh. What is the name of your thigh bone? If you are thinking femur for 25, then you are correct. Question 26. Which group best represents the location of the ball and socket hinge and fixed joints? The best represents the location. So we look in location, ball and socket. We have shoulder. Well, that already gives us the answer for 26 as being C. All the others are wrong. 27. Which of the following is tough, flexible, fibrous connective tissue that joins two bones to form a stable joint? With it joining two bone means it's joining bone to bone. So 27 is ligaments. Ligaments. Yeah, someone is saying it looks like a P paper. Yeah, a P does have many of these questions. That is true. That's very true. Bones act as levers while cartilage assists with what? Bones act as levers while cartilage assists with movement at a joint, holding joints together, connecting muscle to bone, reducing friction at the joints. Yes, bone rubbing on bone is painful, right? It hurts. All right, so the cartilage prevents that from happening. So 28 is D. 28 is D. I hope persons are keeping track. Many of these questions are repeat questions, so do become very familiar with them. I don't subscribe to learning letters. I tell students, if it comes down to it, learn responses, learn answers, learn the correct answers. Don't learn A, B, C, or D, because CXC always shuffles or do try to shuffle the answers. Yeah, so learn the response. So like for 29, Liam notices that his face is flushed red after playing football. Which of the following processes causes his face to become flushed red? And we know that involves blood coming closer to the surface. So vasodilation, learn what vasodilation is. So you will know what the answer is. So C, yeah. Question 30. We have a diagram of a section through the human skin, which label part represents the sweat pore. We know the sweat pore runs from the sweat gland, and the pore does not have any hair strand coming out of it. So the only one that has that is 2, which makes the answer B. Yeah. And I am trying to pay attention to the chat to see if persons are giving the correct answers. And most of you are giving the correct answers. So it doesn't require me to particularly over-explain anything. But if there is a particular question that is really mind-boggling for a great many of you, you all could just let me know so that I know I have to do some explanation for that question. Which of the following substances are found in the urine of a healthy person? The person is healthy, so urea, salts, and water, salts, urea, and proteins, urea, glucose, water, protein, salts, glucose. The best one is A. Yeah, the person is healthy, right? So urea, salts, and water is the best answer from what they provide. Yeah. And we can go in, and if anyone has any particular questions, you can take note of it and bring it to the crash course tomorrow. And so we could go into it in some depth, encourage persons to sign up for the crash course. We'll try to take as many persons as possible. Do sign up and be part tomorrow. Item 32 refers to the following diagram showing some of the organs in the body which produce hormones. Which hormone is secreted by the organ labeled S? S is the pancreas. Up here is the thyroid. This is the pancreas. These are the adrenal glands right above the kidney. This is the ovaries. So this means this person is female. Yeah, so insulin comes from the pancreas. 32 is D. Bingle, you're asking if the crash course is free. Yes, the crash course is free. All we ask is that you give a review of how we're doing to help us, to encourage us. Yeah. So just give a Google review and yeah, that's it. And sign up and you're in. Yes, it's free. So do be part of it. Item 33 refers to the following diagram showing a longitudinal section through a human kidney. Which of the labeled structures contain the loop of Henle? The loop of Henle is on the nephron and it is the medulla. So the nephron starts in the cortex, goes into the medulla, and goes back out into the cortex. So 33 is medulla. Where's medulla? All right. So 33 is D. 34. Which of the following actions occurs to bring about accommodation in the eye? Yeah, accommodation is the change in sight. We're reading all tightening of suspensory ligaments through the relaxation of the ciliary muscle. Oh, yeah, that already tells us the answer. Yeah, that already tells us the answer. 35 refers to the following diagram of a motor neuron. Which labeled part is the axon? So we need one to see. Oh, we have 3 here. It's going down straight into the axon. So 35, we are going with C. 36. Which of the following statements about astigmatism is correct? The ciliary muscle is relaxed. What? The eyeball is too short, so the image is formed behind the retina. What? The eyeball is too long, so the image is formed in front of the retina. These are different versions of sight. The cornea is uneven, bending light, so it does not converge on the retina. 36. D is the best response. 37. Images in the eye are formed on the choroid layer, optic nerve, the retina. Yes, the retina. You want it to fall on your retina. 38. The main reason for practicing family planning is to make families richer, improve the economy of a country, give individuals more leisure time, ensure sufficient resources for each family member. And you all see the problem that countries over on Asia side is having. Yeah, with the decreasing population, they need to encourage persons with the population for the population to increase. But back to the question 38, ensure sufficient resources for each family member. Yeah, so 38 is D. All right, 39. I know persons would be very familiar with this question considering how the paper two went. Item 39 refers to the following diagram, which represents 1 month on the calendar Tanya uses to chart her menstrual cycle. During which part of her cycle is she most likely to become pregnant? And we know we're looking for where ovulation is happening, which is around day 14. It's a 28-day cycle. So 39 is B. Right, 39 is B. Remember, Haley, it is these papers add up, right? Paper 2 is worth 50%, paper 1 is worth 30%, and your SBA or paper 3 is worth 20% of your total mark, yeah? So you want to try to score as much as possible on each paper, yeah? So the aim is to get 60 out of 60, which will give you 30% of your final grade. Question 40. Which of the following are true about the fallopian tubes? Facilitate the passage of the ovum to the uterus. Yes. Site where fertilization of the ovum occurs. Yes. Produces the ovum. No. So we're looking for 1 and 2 only. So that puts 40 as A. Implantation occurs when the fertilized ovum as what? Is in the oviduct, reaches the uterus, reaches the cervix, is embedded in the uterus wall. Yes, that's the best answer. Is embedded in the uterus wall. Yeah. 41 is D. 42. During asexual reproduction, an organism produces new organisms that are identical to the parent by a process of 42. You have to be going with mitosis. Someone is asking me to repeat the marks. Do you mean the weighing of the paper? Paper 1 is worth 30% of your grade, paper 2 is worth 50% of your grade, and paper 3 or your SBA is worth 20% of your grade. Yeah. So the maximum amount for your grade that you could get on paper 1 is 30%. Yeah, which is to say that each question is worth 0.5%. Right? So yeah, that's how it works. Kevin, we already said the crash course was free and the time and everything is on it. All you have to do is click on it. It will give you the time. Chromosomes are made up of proteins and what? I hope everyone is thinking for question 43. The answer is DNA. Which of the following occurs when a zygote receives one extra chromosome? One extra chromosome. A gene mutation, incomplete dominance, sex-linked inheritance, a chromosomal mutation. That kind of give it, just reading it kind of gives you the answer. A chromosomal mutation. You want to know what produces the ovum? The ovaries produces the ovum. Right, Patricia? The ovaries release the ovum. Yeah. Item 45 refers to the following illustration of genetic engineering that is used to produce useful protein. So we have this protein coming out at the end. What is a possible disadvantage of producing useful proteins in this way? Production of protein is inexpensive. Large amounts of protein can be made. We're looking for a disadvantage. Production of protein is very rapid as bacteria multiply. Use of bacteria in this process can be hazardous to health. Yeah, that's the one. That's the disadvantage. All the others are advantages. 46. Infected persons display signs and symptoms of diseases. Which of the following signs and symptoms are correctly classified? For 46, we have headache. A headache is a symptom, so that's out. Sore throat, sore throat symptom. Shivering, yeah, a person could see shivering. Sore throat, yeah, symptom. Headache, again, headache is a symptom. So C is right. 46 is C. 46 is C. 47, and I'm seeing the C's. Yes, yes, yes. Someone already telling us the answer for 47, which means I'm moving slower than you. So let me catch up. Which of the following types of immunity occurs when a baby receives antibodies from its mother before birth? So a baby isn't producing it, they're getting it naturally and they're getting it passively. So 47 is B. 48. Good health may be best described as, we need 3 things for good health: physical, social, and mental well-being. So that makes C for 48. Someone is saying, answer our questions, please. I don't know what question is that, but yeah, do remember you could bring your questions to the live, the crash course. We'll try to answer them there. 49. Which of the following organisms is the causative agent for cholera? We know that cholera is caused by Vibrio cholera. For 49, so we go in with a bacterium. Yeah, let me see. Someone is asking me how much for a grade 1. You know, a guaranteed way to get a grade 1 is to hit 100%. Persons always overlook that. A guaranteed grade 1 is to hit 100%. Yeah. Refer to the following diagram showing the life cycle of a house fly. But I know plenty persons always wonder how low a grade you could get to get the paper to get a grade 1, and that works on a distribution. Yeah, that works on a distribution. So it's not permanent for every year. Yeah, that's why when the papers come very easy, you see it tends to seem a bit harder to get a grade 1. Eh? Which stage is prevented by keeping household refuge properly covered? All right, this is the life cycle of the housefly. So we're looking to remove the eggs. If you cover the refuge, if you keep it properly covered, then the fly is not enough to lay eggs. Yeah, fly is not enough to lay eggs. Which of the following cannot be prevented by healthy lifestyle choices? We're going with cannot be prevented by healthy lifestyle choices. Influenza, sickle cell anemia, chronic heart disease, iron deficiency anemia. 51, you have to go with B, sickle cell anemia is genetic. It is genetic. The reason you are seeing blurry is because we already said it's not the best copy of the paper. I had to do some work on this paper to build it up, so that's why you're seeing it kind of blurry. Which of the following symptoms cause the most injury to a person suffering from dengue fever? And that should be internal hemorrhaging. Yeah, if you're bleeding internally. If you're bleeding internally, it's problems. We'll continue on. Which of the following is the correct sequence when testing water for bacteria? Examine the agar in the petri dish for the presence of coliform colonies. That seems like it should be the end, right? That seems like it should be end. Incubate the petri dish at 35 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Place collected water in a sterile bottle. Pour the water onto sterile agar in a sterile petri dish. So 1 is in fact the end, which will make this C. Yeah, which will make this C. Let's go on to 54. Antiretroviral drugs. Antiretroviral drugs are used to cure HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS could be cured. Prevent pneumonia, prevent secondary infection, control the reproduction of HIV/AIDS. That's the better answer for 54. D. Compaction is done at landfills in order to control the dust, control the smell, get rid of spaces that may harbor pests, recover materials that are sent to be recycled. Yeah. So for 55, we're going with C, and most of you chose C as well. So let's keep going. We're nearly there to the end. 56, what is the effect of carbon monoxide on the human body? Prevents oxygen uptake by the blood. Already that jumps out as being the answer. Damages cilia present on the trachea, causes eye irritation and reduced visibility, has toxic effects on the nervous system, right? Carbon monoxide binds to red blood cells, so prevents oxygen uptake by the blood. A is the answer for 56. 57, someone already told us the answer is D, Mr. Rock. Which of the following gases is produced in a landfill site? Methane. So Mr. Rock is indeed correct. 57 is D. 58, the process of adding a calculated amount of chemical that is effective for killing bacteria in a water treatment plant before water is distributed to customers is called chlorination. Is called chlorination. Yeah, they had chlorine water. That's why you see this kind of gas coming out of the water when you put it into a cup. That's the chlorine coming out. 59. Which of the following labels indicate the process of evaporation? Evaporation, you have water going upwards from a water body. So we are looking at, see, this is transpiration. This is it leaving. This is water coming out from plants. So this is transpiration. So we're going with 59 being C. And final question for the evening. Contamination of water sources is detrimental to humans because of the spread of waterborne diseases such as cholera. And that's the 60 questions for this June or this May-June 2023 paper. So our person's fearing, are you all feeling more confident going into the exams? Is it better for you? Are you understanding more? I hope I hope this live stream is able to help you, give you that little more confidence going into the exam, to encourage you. That's the point, that's the purpose of it. Tomorrow, the agenda is we will have the crash course that will run from about 12 noon AST time. Do sign up for it. You could click the link. You could check the link in the description. Do sign up for it. It is free. All we ask is that you give a review. You give a review when you sign up. But be part of that. And tomorrow evening at about the 9 o'clock hour AST time, if you're in Jamaica, that'll be about the 8 o'clock hour. We want to do paper 3 because there is paper 1 and paper 3 on Monday. Yeah, Monday. That starts off the week for the last week of CXC, CSEC exams. But otherwise, I am your principal, Travis Roach, wishing you all the best in your exams. Hope that you all will sign up and get to see me in the crash course. But otherwise, I want to wish you all a wonderful evening. This is it for the evening. Take care, everyone.